Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's program. My name's Craig Slosher. I'm one of the vice presidents at the Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce and Convention and Visitors Bureau. And on behalf of the organization, I'd like to welcome you to our Workforce and Business Resources program, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Even more financial help is available to Here's What You Need to Know, and it's presented by Argelys over at Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey.
Great. Thank you, Craig. Thank you very much. And it was a very quick intro, but I know you introduced me as Argelys. On here on our screen, it says Argelys Morel. You guys feel free to call me Argelys, as everyone does around these parts. I'm one of the account managers for the individual and Hispanic teams for Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and how we could provide more financial help in reference to your health insurance costs and health insurance needs, and what's available to you currently under the state that we're in currently. I would also like to thank the Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce, along with the Human Resources and Government Affairs Committee, for allowing me to take this time today to really educate folks, membership, new faces, new guests onto this series about a lot of the pertinent information that we're going to be talking about today. And lastly, I just want to say thank you again to everyone who participated in today's session. I know I went through a lot of information. We're going to go through a Q&A session in a couple of minutes. So feel free, as Craig mentioned, to highlight those questions in the chat, email them over to him, and we can get those answered within this Q&A session for the next 15 minutes.
Argelys, great job. Absolutely fantastic job. I want to congratulate you on two things. One, on taking insurance and making it simple. Two, I think the second part of that is that you finished almost exactly on time in like 28 minutes, 2 minutes early, a feat that I can rarely say that I'm able to do. So great job with that too.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me just ask one question to start. And while I'm doing that, on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see a darker blue bar. There's a Q&A in there. If you'd like to go ahead and click on that, you can just go ahead and drop a question in, and then I will keep an eye on that and let Argelys know about them. But one thing, Argelys, I thought that you brought up that was really good about the open enrollment period for coverage right now is that when you enroll in coverage, the following month, you're able to go ahead and have coverage. Now, one thing that I've heard about, and maybe you can help, provide some insight on this, is that whenever you have a coverage gap, what that means for your insurance, if you have pre-existing conditions and anything like that. Do you think you could speak to that and just give a little insight on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the state of New Jersey, due to the Affordable Care Act, if you do have any type of pre-existing condition, we cannot deny health insurance. So currently in the state that we're in, because enrollment is still open, the fact will remain that if you do enroll throughout the month, you would be effective the first of the following month once you do the enrollment. So pre-existing condition is not something that we would deny for you to get insurance. Again, those special qualifying events are also items that people traditionally will ask for. I just got divorced, or I just had a baby, or I'm pregnant, which traditionally before, even if you were pregnant, you still had to wait until the baby was born to have that special election period and be able to enroll. Now with ARPA, you're able to enroll at the moment you know that you're pregnant and still get coverage the first of the following month. So those are big things, that major changes that we didn't have before, that I think are really beneficial to the population and really opening kind of all of those gaps in terms of getting insured and in getting insured right away, as opposed to waiting for an open enrollment period as we traditionally do.
RJ, I think that's an excellent point, and it shows the difference between past and present. And in terms of when we look at changes for past and present, I think one thing that's so important is our freelancers, sole proprietors, those individual business owners, which are so prevalent in such a large part of New Jersey's economy, what we call the micro businesses, and often they put themselves a little bit last on the health insurance pipeline for many different things. So could we talk a little bit just really specifically about the differences? And you did a good job in that slide, but just to recap it, the differences for those type of individuals and those business owners between what we had before and what we had now. And I think that'll really help them have a really good clarity on the benefits that are now available to them.
From a savings standpoint, right. So traditionally, small business owners or sole proprietors or folks in that target population would kind of leave health insurance at the end. And a lot of times it would be something that they needed, right? But they would not be afforded any type of insurance because they were traditionally in this FPL level, which means over that 400 percentile. So if you small business owner and it's a family of 4 and you went over this income level, right, which most likely will happen, you would not be afforded any type of federal or state subsidy. Versus now, if you go over this amount, so if you're within that 104,000 up to 162,000, you will be receiving federal and state subsidies to help you reduce that monthly premium significantly. So that is huge for the changes that are made, because traditionally, as I mentioned, those folks would not have any type of assistance. So now we're seeing a lot of these folks that were over that 400 percentile that are now coming back and asking, well, this is my income level, this is my family size, do I qualify for anything? And they will qualify for assistance. That's actually the population that we want to really make sure that they're educated on this information, because the folks that did receive assistance are getting the information, whether it's through Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield or whether it is through the state. But the folks that did not qualify are the ones that we really want to make sure that they're educated and make sure that, again, they're not leaving money on the table, because we know that they need the assistance and we know that they can utilize those funds to really grow the business and utilize it for other things that are pressing at the moment.
That's fantastic, RJ. I think you did a great job highlighting the difference between the 104 to the 162. And in New Jersey, when we look at the average income in so many different areas, that's a huge change for us, because there was a lot of household incomes that fall between 104 to 162. That is a really great opportunity. Now, one thing I would add with that is, if someone already has insurance and they are a small business owner, it would make sense for them to have a conversation with you or their carrier to follow up to see if they are eligible for these type of extra incentives or relief components that are available through the American Rescue Act, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely give us a call and connect with us, whether, through our website, as I mentioned, if you want to do it virtually, video consultation, phone consultation. If you want to do an in-person, you can do all of those. You can highlight what you want to do through our website. And as well, you can always connect with me directly via email or phone, and we can really go through all of those items. And I always say connect with us, because I know that for small business owners, there's a lot of questions that they particularly have related to not just the savings and understanding what the savings are from a federal and state level, but they may have other questions related to their business and what do I include as income, what don't I? So a lot of those kind of small nuances we can get through and really just kind of hit it home and make sure that they have the adequate information and we can provide the assistance for them.
RG, that's a great help. I think every small business owner on here, often when they do their federal return, their New Jersey return, and everything else in between, can greatly appreciate the ability and the assistance you can give them with that, because they may be the same expenses, but the way they're viewed and categorized is an entirely different thing depending on what the purpose is you're trying to accomplish. So I think that's a really fantastic piece of insight. So thank you. So I have one more question here that I got in. And then after that, anybody else just feel free to shoot us one more in either the chat or email, because I think we'll have time for maybe 2 questions top with it. So RJ, when we look at individuals right now that are in transition, they maybe lost their position, they're looking for a new position with it. What is the best advice that you can give them? I know you said if they want to do the program, they might have to talk to their previous employer. What's the number one place they should start? And then what's the follow-up step from there so we can leave them with a tangible takeaway and action item?
For those folks that are currently unemployed and are looking for a job right now and are still don't have any type of insurance, definitely connect with us so we can get you insured on a policy. You cannot go more than 3 months without having insurance in the state, because it will trigger the penalty for the state of New Jersey. So you can't go more than 90 days without having some sort of insurance. For the folks that are transitioning, that just that are in a month or two are going to be moving into a new position or went back to their old position, you want to find out with them first, what are the regulations and the rules around acquiring health insurance through the employer. If there's a waiting period, they would let you know. If there's not, then they would let you know at that point too. Also, you want to make sure that you're not paying more than 8.5% of your income towards that employee coverage. If you are, then you can come into the individual marketplace. But if it falls under that income level, as far as what you're contributing for the year, if it's under that 8.5%, for that employee coverage, then it is deemed affordable. So you will have to enroll in that policy, and you won't be able to come into the individual marketplace, and you won't be able to get the assistance. But if it's above that, again, you want to connect with us and you want to have that conversation so that we can do the comparison, right? We can say, well, apples to oranges, what is the difference here? How much are you paying? We're going to do the calculations. We're going to look at all of those factors and determine whether, yes, you would qualify, or no, you would have to wait until they can provide you with that coverage from that employer.
Fantastic. And RJ, I think the last thing that I'll ask you with this is obviously the subsidies and the assistance that's coming out of the American Rescue Plan Act is definitely very helpful. How long do the subsidies last for that insurance coverage?
So it'll be in effect from the point of enrollment and all the way up to next year. So this is in effect until 2022.
Okay. When we say 2022, is that January? Or are we looking at December?
December.
Okay. So this gives you an opportunity for assistance on your health coverage for, right now we're in June. We're looking at something that's almost 1.5 years of assistance that you can gain.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think that's fantastic. So I just want to say again, thank you to you so much for just an outstanding job and really being the subject matter expert for this, and also to bringing this to my attention and the Chamber's attention as a really important topic to get out there to our membership and everything that this can bring to us. So I want to thank you for doing a great job in the presentation, but also to always being out there, keeping an eye out there for our members and being a valued member and sharing information like this. So thank you, Argie.
Great. Thank you for having me again.
Our pleasure. So with that in mind, folks, we're going to wrap up just a couple minutes early. One thing we will have is we will have this video available on demand. It'll be through our One Huddle mobile app. It'll also be available online. So look for that to come out and be live on there probably tomorrow morning, maybe even sooner. And we look forward to seeing you at one of our next upcoming programs with it. We have a fantastic meet and greet that's coming up in July that I'll include in our post-event email for you. So you can go ahead and take a look at that. It's actually going to be at the Sheraton Edison, which will be a really great program for it. We have a virtual networking breakfast, and we also have our Global Business Summit. So the July meet and greet will be July 14th at 5:30 p.m. at the Sheraton Edison. We have our Global Business Summit, Global to Local with the Princeton Chamber. It will be a virtual program on July 15th at 10 a.m. And on July 23rd at 9 a.m., we have our virtual networking breakfast, and we come back with our next virtual Open for Business program that we have will be Google Analytics 101, Understanding Reporting and Determining Actionable Insights with Mark Mustachio of crowd marketing for our Technology and Business Development Committee. Again, thank you to all of you for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And let me be one of the first to wish you a wonderful July 4th holiday weekend and have a safe and enjoyable time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.